At 18, I picked up an abandoned school bully named Ethan. I tried for a long time but could never warm his heart. Later, his childhood friend Sophia appeared. Then I realized he could be gentle. Just not with me. On the day I let go, I lied and said I'd be right back. Then I never returned. 7 years later, we met again on a film set. Now a rising movie star, Ethan grabbed me. Be right back. Where the hell did you go?
Welcome to listen to my full Sweet Love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
My palms were sweating. The new award-winning actor Ethan was just 5 meters behind me. If I turned around, we'd meet face to face. The assistant director said, "Ethan, in the next scene where you meet your ex, we need longing and reluctance." Ethan chuckled softly. "Longing?" The assistant director asked, "You disagree?" "She's an ex. Why would I feel longing?" His voice was as casual as ever. At 18, he'd used that same voice to call me Emma. The discussion continued behind me. I couldn't hear the assistant director's words clearly, but Ethan's detached tone cut through clearly. "My ex? I forgot about her long ago. I don't believe in second chances." As the second chance, I had no plans to reconnect either. Once filming wrapped, we'd go our separate ways. Perfect. Just as I thought this, a colleague suddenly called out loudly, "Emma, did you find the props?" Silence fell behind me. I grabbed the props and hurried away. Ethan didn't follow. Maybe he hadn't heard. Or maybe he had, and just didn't care. While setting up the studio, I told my colleague, "Call me Miss Smith next time, not Emma." "Why? Emma is such a pretty name. Miss Smith sounds more professional." My colleague laughed, buying my excuse. This was my first job as an assistant director. Before joining, I knew Ethan was the lead actor. A celebrity kid with half the industry's resources, yet talented enough to win Best Actor at 25. And unfortunately, I was his first love. I'd hesitated about taking the job, but I couldn't pass up this career opportunity. I swore to myself, don't let him recognize me, or I'd be ruined. Because 7 years ago, our breakup was anything but graceful. In my letter, I'd written, "I always knew you were a celebrity kid. I only got close to dig up dirt on your family. Truth is, I never liked bad boys. I prefer gentle types. Let's never meet again. Bye." The words were bold, but my exit was anything but. I never knew how Ethan felt after reading that letter. But he never forgot a grudge. If he caught me now, my career could be over. My colleague gushed, "Ethan's even hotter in person, those jeans." With his parents being award-winning actors, even average looks would outshine normal people. I love Ethan's vibe. So refined and gentle. Bet he was prom king in school. I nearly choked. Ethan? Prom king? Dead wrong. Far from it, he'd been the school's most avoided delinquent. I'd never forget our first meeting. Fresh from a fight, covered in bruises. Rain poured as people rushed by, but he sat motionless like a corpse. Only when I approached did he look up. "Get lost." His tone was feral, like a mad dog ready to tear me apart. But I didn't leave. With shaking hands, I held my floral umbrella over him. That was how Ethan and I began. I shook my head, dispelling the memory. After setting the scene, I took a break. The studio was too noisy, so I slipped into the stairwell. The moment I opened the door, tobacco smoke assaulted me. Ethan stood in the shadows, a cigarette glowing between his fingers. He lifted his gaze to meet mine. Just like back then. The stairwell was dark and quiet. "Sorry to disturb you." I turned to leave. Ethan stopped me. "What's your role here?" "Assistant director." "Fresh out of school?" "Yeah." "Landing a job with director Zhang right after graduation. Impressive." "Thank you, Ethan." "How old are you?" 25. He smirked lazily. "Same age as me and you're calling me sir? The 43-year-old assistant director calls you that too." "Then say it again." I froze. "Huh." Gritting my teeth, I repeated, "Ethan." In the dark I couldn't see clearly, but his lips might have twitched. A cold, emotionless smile. My skin prickled. But I clung to hope. He couldn't recognize me. I'd changed drastically in 7 years. From a scrawny girl to someone occasionally called pretty. Even relatives barely recognized me, let alone in this darkness. Ethan, enjoy your break. I'll head back. Wait. He stopped me again. What's your name? The question caught me off guard. Emma Smith. That's my name. Ever used another name? No. Ethan fell silent. Sweat dampened my back. I'd once been called Evelyn, a name I'd since changed. He'd lied to me before. Now I returned the favor. The summer after sophomore year, I'd found Ethan on a street corner. I'd believed him. Thought he was like me, unwanted and poor. As a girl, my mother had resented me. After my parents divorced, they each started new families. With sons. Neither wanted me, so I lived in my aunt's basement. I'd always been obedient. Obedience meant at least having food. Ethan and I were opposites. He smoked, fought, did everything wrong. I was quiet, knowing only study. Junior year, we were placed in the same class. I sat front row. He took the back. No one knew his background. Some even said he was an orphan. At school we were strangers. But every night, Ethan would knock on my basement window. I'd clear floor space for him to sleep. By dawn, before my aunt woke, he'd vanish like a ghost. Ethan often skipped class, often returned injured. Each time, I'd tend his wounds. He'd complain, "Evelyn, take it easy. Call me Emma." Fine, Emma. Emma was my nickname from my late grandmother. I preferred it to Evelyn. Since Ethan kept coming, I assumed he was worse off than me. And I began to believe. When I forgot my textbook and the teacher scolded me, Ethan would stride from the back and toss his book on my desk. When classmates bullied me and I froze, Ethan would step between us, declaring me under his protection. I mistook this for mutual care. Only later did I realize there was no mutual care. Ethan was a celebrity kid, with mansions and sports cars. One of his shoes could buy my entire wardrobe. He just used me to spite his family. When did I find out? Probably the day Sophia appeared. My thoughts scattered as a coworker handed me bubble tea. Sophia's visiting again. She bought drinks for everyone. The heiress and the movie star. Perfect match. I followed their gaze. Sophia was pouting cutely. Ethan listened patiently. Like everyone, I couldn't look away. Suddenly, Ethan seemed to sense something. His eyes locked onto mine. I immediately looked down. When I glanced back, he wasn't watching me. Maybe I'd imagined it. Sophia continued whining. "Ethan, after filming, take me to Paris Fashion Week." Her tone hadn't changed in 7 years. I fell into memories. In high school, Ethan and I had stayed platonic. Until graduation summer. Class reunions kept us out late. One night, drunk men followed me home. Ethan appeared like magic, fists flying. Maybe it was post-exam freedom, or maybe adulthood. Suddenly, Ethan looked different. I gathered courage to confess. Then initiated our first handhold. Hug. Kiss. Ethan wasn't passionate, but didn't resist. Still that unyielding hardness, never speaking softly. Yet in some ways, he was the perfect boyfriend. Always available. Generous. Ethan never introduced me to friends. Once, I surprised him at a pool hall. He scowled. "Don't come here again." I didn't overthink. Just his personality. Until Sophia arrived. In her designer dress, glowing like sunlight in my world. She called him Ethan. "Ethan, why are you here?" "Ethan, where's your new Ferrari? Take me for a ride." Ferrari nearly made me stumble. Sophia blinked at me. "Ethan, who's she?" "Hi, I'm Ethan's girlfriend." "What? Joking? Ethan would never date you." "I'm his future wife. Our families arranged it." "Bull." Ethan shoved her out, scowling. "Ignore her. I never agreed to any arrangement." His excuse rang hollow. Later, his parents found me. That's how I learned Ethan's background. Not just any celebrity kid. His family controlled half of entertainment. Ethan rebelled against his parents. He'd transferred from elite private school to public on purpose. and refused to go home. His absent parents had no idea how he spent his days. Finally, his father told me, "Emma, you should know, Ethan's rebellious. He's with you to spite us, not because he cares. He's done this before. Watch how he treats Sophia. He loves her, just hasn't realized it yet. Emma, you don't belong in our world." The words shattered me. And his father was right. Though Ethan complained about Sophia, he indulged her, allowed her whims, fulfilled her requests. The worst moment. Sophia mocked my poverty, then instantly teared up when Ethan appeared. "Ethan," Emma pushed me toward those creeps. I was terrified. Ethan turned on me. "Emma, I told you to leave her alone." Behind him, Sophia stuck out her tongue. That's when I understood. Ethan wasn't incapable of warmth, just not for me. Late August, I accepted his parents' offer. Their money sent me abroad. My only chance at higher education. That last day, I told Ethan I wanted chocolate. He automatically reached for his wallet. "Get the expensive kind." "I want some too." I declined. "I'll buy my own." "Be right back." "Sure. I'll wait." I never returned. As his parents demanded, I left that cruel breakup letter. Our 3-month summer romance died with the season. I changed my name, cut ties with classmates. Invisible in school, often bullied, I cherished this fresh start. I learned to dress well, exercise. My new look and name, plus his parents' interference, kept Ethan from finding me. To him, I might as well have died. But I heard plenty about him. After I left, he repeated senior year, got into film school, debuted in college, skyrocketed to fame. On screen, he was refined, charming fans with gentle smiles. No trace of the boy I'd known. People change, so had I. Exhausted after work, I massaged my aching shoulders. But my colleague buzzed with energy. "OMG! This shot is fire." "What?" "Ethan's new Candid. It's trending." I peeked at her phone. A paparazzi photo had gone viral. Ethan seen meeting his ex. That expression. Perfection. He completely becomes the character. In the photo, Ethan stared into the distance. Every gesture refined. But his eyes burned with something wild. What chilled me? At the photo's edge where his gaze fell. A blurred figure. Me. Next day, filming resumed. The lead actress had an emergency. With this crucial scene delayed, the director panicked. Finally, they decided to use a stand-in for Ethan's close-ups. Ethan insisted on choosing. I lingered at the crowd's edge. Yet his eyes landed on me. Her. I froze. The director agreed instantly, urging me into the actress's costume. Only my back would show. But makeup still touched me up. When I faced Ethan, he hesitated. I avoided his eyes. Ethan asked, "Nervous?" "I've never acted." "Don't act. Just listen. Pause. Relax. Tension reads fake." "Okay." "Try deep breaths." "Thanks, Ethan." "Camera's on me. Just hear my lines." "Also." He stopped. "Also what?" I looked up. "Where's my chocolate?" Ethan's words were deliberate, eyes blazing with familiar intensity. He extended his hand. "Emma. 7 years. Shouldn't it be ready by now?" I'd been exposed. Ethan must have recognized me earlier. This scene's script, a lover's reunion, felt like his own words to me. But that was impossible. Real life Ethan had never spoken this way. After filming, the director praised me. "Emma, you've got talent." That expression was perfect. I thought. Or maybe we were both just being ourselves. Next, Ethan requested me as his liaison. My stomach dropped. Given his influence, this had to be revenge. I was promoted to his personal assistant director, suddenly working 18-hour days around him. But my duties exceeded the role. When heavy props needed moving, even women pitched in. As I rolled up my sleeves, Ethan stopped me. "Get me bubble tea." Not just drinks. He ordered snacks too. Though delivery was available, he made me fetch everything. Yet colleagues envied my paid breaks. Returning, Ethan would refuse the food. Changed my mind. "Take it." After a week, I'd actually gained weight. Eventually, co-workers grew curious. Is he feeding you on purpose? Impossible. But he treats you differently. Ethan's tough. His company co-produced this film. He's criticized other assistants, but never you. Not true, I denied. If he wasn't torturing me, that was mercy. Rumors reached Sophia. She stormed onto set. You're Ethan's new assistant? Assistant director, I corrected. Someone your age can handle that? Don't judge by appearances, Ms. Zhou. Sophia studied me, then gasped. Have we met? Must be mistaken. Disinterested and reminiscing, I returned to work. Sophia sneered. I've seen your type before. My type. Don't think Ethan's attention means anything. Know your place or you'll regret it. What are you implying? You resemble his ex. She awaited my devastation at being a replacement. But I just asked. And? He keeps you around to spite her. Ethan hates that woman. Don't get cocky. I set down my clipboard, smiling. If he hates her, why seek a replacement? That's contradictory, Ms. Zhou. Sophia stomped away, speechless. But her words lingered. Ethan hated me. Of course. That night, Ethan texted asking for medicine. Not wanting conflict, I delivered it. Assuming he'd torment me, I found him sweating in pain. What's wrong? I asked. Stomach. Where's your assistant? In the city, can't return. Strange. Ethan never had stomach issues before. I asked. When did this start? Repeating senior year. Skipped meals. Why? No one saved me dinner. His gaze held mine. This reminded me of our past. Whenever Ethan stayed over, I'd share my food. By study time, he'd lick the plate clean. What about cafeterias? Disgusting. Typical stubbornness. Expensive takeout sat untouched on his table. Ethan said, just arrived. Can't eat with this pain. Such a waste. After weeks of set food, I was starving. Eat it, he said casually. Otherwise trash it. I grabbed chopsticks and dug in. Silence stretched as I ate. Assuming Ethan slept, I glanced over. He was watching me, smiling. Our eyes met. His smile vanished. Back to scowling at the world. That fierce dog. Never changed. I thought it silently. We sat without speaking until I left. Then Ethan finally said, Emma, Sophia and I have nothing. Never did, never will. I nodded politely. But Ethan, I don't care anymore. My words darkened his mood for days. Whatever. Filming was nearly done. But days before wrap, disaster struck. A boat scene in high winds. The sound tech was absent, so I temporarily held the boom mic near the edge. Losing balance, I wobbled dangerously. A gust knocked me overboard. I couldn't swim. Amid chaos, I heard a shout. Emma! Ethan leaped in after me. He clung to me desperately, as if never letting go. Then everything went black. I woke in an unfamiliar room. A handwritten note on the bedside. My place near set. You're excused from work. Rest. Closet has new women's clothes if needed. Ethan's handwriting. Many actors kept homes near filming locations. Ethan was no exception. Tabloids said this was his primary residence. The home was immaculate. Entering the closet, a floral umbrella caught my eye. The very one I'd shared with Ethan years ago. Faded and cheap, yet displayed like a treasure. Memory flooded back. That stormy day. This umbrella had shielded him from the downpour. Ethan had tried to drive me away. But I'd stubbornly checked his injuries. You foo! He'd swallowed the curse. Not hospital-worthy. I'd thrust the umbrella at him. Wait here. I'll get medicine. Be right back. Get lost. He'd been furious. 10 minutes later, I'd returned with bandages and food. Drenched myself. He'd stared silently. From then on, Ethan never cursed at me again. Later I'd learned why. No one in his life had ever come back for him. I was the first. Finishing the memory, I changed into the provided clothes. Mid-change, the closet door swung open. Ethan and I froze. Awkward. He quickly retreated. Once dressed, I found him frantic. "You were too quiet. I thought you'd left again." "Stop yelling." Ethan paused, anger evaporating. This phrase had always worked. Any outburst, my calm "stop yelling" would diffuse him. "Still effective, apparently," I added. "You're the one who barged in. How was I supposed to know you were changing?" Flushed, he continued. "I saw nothing, I swear." "If you're upset, I'll apologize." "Sorry." "It's fine." I shrugged. "Not like you haven't seen before." Instantly regretting it. Ethan's ears turned crimson. I changed topics. "No filming today?" "Wrapped early. Made congee. Take your medicine after." The swim had given me a cold. Ethan served the congee wearing an apron. I couldn't resist commenting. "Fierce dog in an apron. Quite domestic." "What?" "Thank you," I amended. His eyes lit up like a praised puppy. But his tone stayed gruff. "Finish it all." "Want anything else?" "I'll cook." "Don't trouble yourself." "No trouble. No scenes tomorrow." "I've got time." I hesitated. "So you're staying tonight?" "Yeah." "I'll take the guest room." "No bedding there." "Stay put, you're sick." He pointed at the floor. "Like old times, I'll sleep here." That night, my fever spiked. Ethan barely slept, replacing cold towels hourly. In delirium, time folded. I was back in that tiny basement. Ethan sleeping respectfully far away. A table between us. Only his back visible. Once, he'd hidden illness from me. I'd woken to his burning forehead. Sneaking upstairs for medicine, I'd nursed him through the night. Ethan had suddenly grabbed my hand. Held it tightly, as if fearing I'd leave. Only in sleep had he let go. Our closest contact before graduation. Mostly, we'd been strangers, passing silently at school. Dawn came, Ethan was already gone, called to reshoot. But the table held a home-cooked meal. At its center, a chocolate bar. The most expensive kind. Mid-meal, the door opened. Assuming Ethan's return, I looked up. But a stranger entered. Ethan's agent, also his close friend. The man gaped at me. "Holy shit. Ethan has a woman here." I explained I was just crew. Asked my name, I said. "Call me Emma." He nearly jumped. "Emma? You're Emma?" "Yes." He beamed. "Ethan searched everywhere for you." I stayed silent. "After you left, he self-destructed. Barely ate or slept. Hit rock bottom." The agent smiled warmly. "But now he's found you. 7 years. He can finally stop punishing himself." "With respect," I said. "We only dated 3 months." "Hardly unforgettable." The agent frowned. "Emma, Ethan became an actor for you." I froze. He'd always hated acting. His parents pushed child stardom, but he refused. Then after your breakup, he suddenly enrolled in film school. Said you loved movies. Being famous would keep you visible. Memory surfaced. One sleepless night, I'd confided in Ethan. "Ethan's still awake?" "Yeah. Saw Roman Holiday today. So beautiful." "Boring." "I love films. Wish I could make one, but it's expensive." "Not expensive. Just make it." Thinking him clueless, I dropped it. Yet he'd remembered. The agent sighed. 3 months with you defined his life. That afternoon, Ethan returned. He glared at his agent. "Why are you here?" "Prep for post-production." "Also." He winked at me. "Ethan's finally found you. No more drunken crying." Ethan cut him off. "Don't embarrass me in front of my girlfriend." "Ex-girlfriend," I corrected. "You never broke up with me properly. That letter doesn't count." "I mailed it." "Could have been forged." "No proof you wrote it." The agent excused himself. I asked, "Ethan, weren't you angry?" "That letter said awful things." He smirked. "You'd never dare expose me. Besides, I'd know if you had." I had no rebuttal. As Ethan fetched fruit, I added, "Breakups don't require mutual consent. Regardless of your opinion, we're over." He stiffened. "Then I'll restart." "Won't work." "Are you punishing me?" He lit a cigarette, then stubbed it out upon seeing me. For lying about my background? Or for not explaining Sophia sooner? Both. Neither. Ethan, we're from different worlds. Stop forcing this. Silence thickened. Finally, Ethan's eyes reddened as he growled. I'll force it anyway. I dismissed his words. Post-filming, I visited my hometown. My aunt's old house was being demolished. She needed help clearing it. Though she'd favored her own kids, she'd housed me. I wouldn't repay that with ingratitude. Passing my old high school, I paused. The building had been renovated, unrecognizable. As I stood outside, someone called. Hey, you. I remember you. A man my age emerged from the security booth. You went here, right? Same class as Ethan? I nodded. Do I know you? We fought once. Anyway, where's Ethan? He always followed you. I blinked. Followed me? Every night after study hall, he'd trail you home. You didn't know? This was news to me. Seeing my doubt, he added. Once, mid-fight, Ethan suddenly quit, said study hall was over. I followed, curious, saw him waiting outside school. He'd watch for you, then shadow you home before resuming our fight. See that tree? He pointed to an old oak. That's where he waited. 17-year-old Ethan wore black, kept his hair short, easily vanishing into darkness. A breeze stirred. For a moment, he stood there again, all sharp edges and swallowed starlight. My aunt called, urging me over. At her house, we cleared the basement. My old bed, desk, all hauled away. Then my aunt gasped. Emma, look here. She indicated a patch of floor. Carved deep, my name. Countless times. That boy did this, right? The actor now. I stared. How did you? He came to see me once. When? Remember when I found cigarette butts here and scolded you? Vividly. You stubbornly claimed they were yours. But I knew better. Nostalgia softened her tone. That day, Ethan watched through the window. Later, he found me privately. Knelt and begged me not to blame you. My grip tightened on my shirt. I forbade him from returning, worried he'd corrupt you. So that was why. Near junior year's end, Ethan stopped visiting. At school, surrounded by delinquents, I'd never asked why. Until one day, gathering courage, I did. Before he could answer, his friends jeered. Ethan's got a study buddy warming his bed. Ethan's fist had silenced them instantly. She's a girl. Watch your damn mouths. My first time seeing his rage. I'd fled. Next day, passing my desk, he'd muttered, found another place. Answer enough. Now, tracing those carvings, where he'd once slept. I understood. On countless silent nights. Here's the translated and adapted version with English names. Ethan 4, Emma / Sophia 4, formatted as one sentence per line. Yet in his heart, he called my name 1,000 times. The day before demolition. I walked from the school gate back to Aunt's house once more. This familiar path was shaded by dense sycamore trees. At the end of the road, I saw the basement's tiny window. As if sensing something, I turned around. Ethan stood across the street, wearing a mask. 20 minutes later, we sat in our old favorite diner. After filming ended, I'd ignored his calls. Yet he'd found me anyway. Next to the diner was that old pool hall. Watching boys come and go, I suddenly wanted answers. Ethan, that summer, I came here looking for you. Yeah. You seemed annoyed and sent me away. Did you know how much that hurt me? Ethan looked startled. I wasn't annoyed, Emma. I was scared. Of what? That pool hall was shady. The guy I met that day wanted to fight me. When you showed up, I panicked, worried they'd target you. Ethan frowned, recalling carefully. I'm sorry, Emma. My reaction made you misunderstand. Just then, the waiter called our number. I asked Ethan to grab water. While he was gone, a group of men surrounded me. Hey beautiful, wanna have fun? Was that your boyfriend? Why's he wearing a mask indoors? Weirdo. I glared. Get lost. Ooh, feisty. Even more fun. The leader reached for my shoulder. A second later, he howled in pain. Ethan nearly broke his wrist. Fuck you. Get him. Ethan shielded me. He dropped all pretense, radiating danger. I stared. This was the Ethan I knew. Fierce, volatile, yet always protecting me. I had no doubt he could take all four. But I had to stop him. His reputation couldn't afford a brawl. Ethan stubbornly kept staring them down. I tugged his hand. Ethan, stop. You're scaring me. He froze. Instantly, his edges softened. If Emma's scared, then forget it. Ethan, let's run. He gripped my hand and we sprinted away. Through streets and crowds. We ran endlessly. My heart beat loud in my ears. Thump, thump, thump. Last time I'd heard that sound, it was also because of him, young love's flutter. And now, he still felt like that boy. We ran all the way to Aunt's basement. Empty now, awaiting demolition tomorrow. No lights, just moonlight. Ethan. Emma. We spoke simultaneously. I went first. You used to walk me home every day? Yeah. This area's sketchy. Always creeps harassing girls. Why didn't you tell me? Why bother? He shrugged. You just worry. Your job was studying. I pointed to the carvings. What do these mean? They mean, I love you. I paused. At 18 you never said it. Ethan lowered his gaze. I didn't know how. Ethan's past was complicated. He had parents, but they might as well not have existed. Raised without warmth, no one taught him love, or how to express it. He thought being available and generous was enough. When I'd initiated affection, he'd been happy, but awkward. Unused to love, he'd seemed passive. He'd practiced in mirrors, but it felt unnatural. So he'd written it down instead. 1,000 paper cranes, each with I love you inside. Meant for my birthday. But I'd left before then. Later, acting taught him expression. Yet the person he wanted to say it to was gone. After a silence I asked, what about Sophia? You were so good to her. Ethan shook his head. She saved my life once. My eyes widened. What? As kids, my parents ignored me. Sophia played with me. Once when I had fever, she cried until adults noticed. The doctor said any later, I'd have brain damage. He smiled bitterly. So I promised to treat her like a sister. But that summer she blackmailed me. Threatened to turn my parents against you if I didn't indulge her. I didn't trust them, they might have ruined your college chances. Now I understood. That's why you told me to avoid her. Exactly. Ethan knew which incident I meant. When Sophia accused you, I never believed her. I just wanted you safe. No contact at all. He drooped like a scolded puppy. I didn't realize how much it hurt you. You could have asked. Memories flooded back. If he didn't know how to love, did I? No. Abandoned by my parents, I'd lost the courage to question. I only knew obedience. In my world, compliance earned rare praise. And prevented abandonment. So with Ethan, I'd rather die than confront him. Or show anger. We both didn't know how to love. Ethan was a fierce dog. But so was I. Another stray craving rescue. Moonlight bathed us as Ethan held my hand tightly. One last confession. Your parents paid for my abroad studies. I figured. I could have refused. But it was my only chance. I get it. Ethan smiled gently. You've always been too obedient, Emma. I wish you'd be selfish sometimes. I'll prioritize my career. I'll follow you. You're a star. Why follow me? Becoming one was for you. I want to be your protector. Like before. Walking every night's path together. I leaned tiredly against him. Ethan, we only dated 3 months. He kissed my forehead. But my love lasted longer. Ethan moved fast. Next day, he tweeted our relationship. Tagging me. 3 months, a lifetime in return. Trending instantly. I worried about his parents' reaction. Needlessly. At 25, Ethan was untouchable. With his temper, they couldn't interfere. Maybe they'd never could. Hence targeting me years ago. I just lacked courage then. Sophia also trended that day. She stormed up to me. So you're Evelyn? Emma. Whatever. break up with Ethan. I'm his fiancé. I hesitated. Ethan appeared behind her. Sophia ranted. See the headlines? They call you a homewrecker. Quit now or lose everything. What relationship? Ethan cut in. Sophia turned tearful. Ethan, she's tricking you. Speak properly. I don't hit women. Sophia paled. You promised to treat me well. I did. As a sister. Don't overstep. Furious, Sophia shrieked. You're bewitched. I'll expose her. First, our engagement was never real. Ethan narrowed his eyes. Second, if you smear Emma, I'll retaliate. Sophia spat. She's too poor for you. Ethan almost pitted her. Sophia, have you ever truly loved anyone? Of course. You. No. He interrupted. If I weren't a star, just some delinquent, would you still? Sophia froze. If you'd seen me soaked in rain, would you have shared your umbrella? You'd have called me trash. You love my status, not me. Ethan led me away. Sophia stood stunned. Had she understood? Next day, her press conference shocked everyone. Sophia announced, Ethan and I have no romantic history. Our families were close, nothing more. The engagement rumor is false. As for Emma, she took a breath. She's Ethan's first love, my only recognized sister-in-law. I judged her unfairly. I apologize. The internet exploded. But Ethan's prepared countermeasures weren't needed. Sophia moved abroad. Seeking new horizons, she said. 6 months later, Ethan's father fell ill, retiring from work. His mother cut back work to care for him. Meanwhile, Ethan flourished, soon taking over the family company. Fully in control now. The once stoic Ethan became openly affectionate. His tweets featured me constantly. In interviews, he said, I was a mess until my girlfriend showed me light. One downside, he panicked if I was out of sight. Sometimes at midnight, he'd cling to me. Emma, 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 repeating my name like those floor carvings. Spring at 27. Ethan took me back to our high school. Youth was like seasons, always renewing. New students now faced the same flutters we had. Outside our old classroom stood a giant sycamore. Beneath it, Ethan asked, what if you hadn't come back? You would have. So sure. Ethan smiled. You came back with that umbrella. So I knew you would again. I'd been the only one who returned to him. And still was. By the classroom window, he kissed me softly. Emma, I love you. 10 years since I found that abandoned school bully. And our first wedding anniversary. If asked about the best love letter I've received, I'd say, it's the path home after school. The nights we kept each other company. And a name carved silently into the floor. May we stay happy.